In the hush of everyday moments, a single act of kindness can change everything. A hand reaching out to help a fallen stranger, a patient ear listening to a friend's quiet struggle, or a simple, shared smile between passersby. These are small gestures, seemingly fleeting, yet they carry a profound and enduring strength. Through vivid animation, we witness these tiny sparks of empathy come to life, illuminating a larger, more beautiful truth. Compassion is a force that moves far beyond the act itself. It weaves invisible threads of connection that lift weary hearts, fortify our communities from within, and send ripples of hope echoing across the entire world. In this gentle, unassuming rhythm of giving and receiving, we discover humanity at its most powerful and most pure, not in the grand, sweeping displays of heroism, but in the tender, quiet, and enduring pulse of shared care. These small, often overlooked gestures are where the true magic of kindness resides. Imagine an animated scene where a young child, without a moment's hesitation, shares their only colorful crayon with a classmate whose own has broken. This simple exchange, lasting only a second, is not just about a crayon. It is a profound lesson in generosity and understanding, delivered without a single word. Or picture a bustling city street, where a hurried professional pauses their frantic pace to help an elderly person retrieve scattered groceries from a dropped bag. In the grand scheme of their day, this is a minor interruption, a footnote in a busy schedule. Yet, for the recipient, it is a moment of grace, a reminder that they are seen, valued, and not alone in a world that often rushes past. Animation allows us to magnify the emotional weight of these moments, to slow down time and focus on the subtle shift in a character's expression, the flicker of surprise, the warmth of gratitude, the quiet satisfaction of having helped. These seemingly insignificant actions are the foundational building blocks of a compassionate society. They are the seeds from which towering trees of empathy can grow, demonstrating that no act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever truly wasted. Each one is a quiet declaration of our shared humanity, a powerful testament to the idea that even the most modest efforts can create a significant and lasting impact on someone else's world. The true power of these initial acts lies in their ability to create a ripple effect, a beautiful and self-perpetuating wave of compassion that extends far beyond the original gesture. When one person witnesses an act of kindness, it doesn't just end there. It plants a seed in their own heart, inspiring them to pay that goodness forward. Our animated story continues. A bystander who saw the professional help with the groceries later finds themselves in a coffee shop. Remembering the earlier scene, they decide to buy a coffee for the person standing behind them in line, a complete stranger. This new recipient, touched by the unexpected generosity, goes on to their workplace and offers genuine, heartfelt praise to a colleague who has been struggling with self-doubt. That colleague, in turn, feels a renewed sense of confidence and goes home with a lighter spirit, showing more patience and warmth to their family. One compassionate action, like a single pebble dropped into a still pond, creates concentric circles of empathy that spread outward, touching lives in ways the original actor could never have imagined. Animation can visualize this phenomenon with breathtaking clarity, showing a single spark of light traveling from one character to another, igniting new sparks along its path until an entire community is aglow with warmth. This chain reaction demonstrates that kindness is not a finite resource to be hoarded, but an endlessly renewable energy that multiplies with every act of sharing. It transforms a solitary, isolated gesture into a powerful, collective movement, spreading empathy and goodwill far beyond its initial point of origin. Through the captivating medium of animated storytelling, these abstract concepts of kindness and empathy are rendered tangible, immediate, and deeply moving. Animation possesses a unique ability to transcend the limitations of reality, allowing us to visualize the internal emotional landscape of a character with a vibrancy that live action often cannot capture. When a character performs an act of kindness, we can see more than just the action itself. we can see a literal warmth emanating from them, a soft, golden light that envelops both the giver and the receiver. We can watch as the gray, muted colors of a lonely character's world are slowly infused with brilliant hues of hope and connection after someone shows them a small measure of compassion. These visual metaphors make the emotional impact of kindness undeniably clear, turning a subtle feeling into a powerful and unforgettable image. Animated narratives can also distill complex human interactions into their purest, most universal forms. By stripping away the distracting details of a specific time or place, a simple, hand-drawn story of a shy creature being welcomed into a group by a braver one becomes a universal allegory for inclusio and acceptance. The fluid, expressive movements and rich, evocative colors allow the story to speak directly to the heart, bypassing the analytical mind and forging a direct, emotional resonance with the viewer. This makes the message more accessible, more memorable, and ultimately, more inspiring for audiences of all ages and backgrounds. As these individual acts of kindness multiply, they begin to fundamentally transform the very fabric of our communities. A neighborhood where people regularly perform small favors for one another, watching a neighbor's pet sharing garden produce, or simply greeting each other with a warm smile, is not just a collection of houses. It is a true community bound by invisible threads of trust and mutual support. Kindness strengthens these bonds, turning strangers into neighbors and neighbors into friends. In our animated world, we see this transformation unfold visually. A once drab and disconnected cityscape, depicted in monochrome tones, gradually becomes saturated with vibrant color as its inhabitants begin to interact with one another in more compassionate ways. A solitary park bench, once a symbol of loneliness, becomes a gathering spot for shared stories and laughter. These small, repeated acts of consideration and care build a foundation of collective well-being. They create a supportive environment where individuals feel safer, more connected, and more valued. This elevation is a dual process. It lifts the spirits of the individuals who give and receive kindness, and it simultaneously elevates the entire group, fostering a culture of cooperation and resilience. Communities fortified by kindness are better equipped to face challenges together, to celebrate successes collectively, and to ensure that no member is left behind. This is how kindness builds a better world, not through grand, sweeping reforms, but one strengthened bond, one elevated spirit, and one transformed community at a time. Ultimately, this drive toward compassion is a universal connection, a shared human trait that transcends all boundaries of culture, language, and even species. The impulse to help, to comfort, and to share is woven into the very essence of what it means to be a living, feeling being. In our animated journey, we see this truth beautifully illustrated. A story might shift from a bustling human city to a serene forest where we witness an animal gently guiding a lost fledgling back to its nest, or a dolphin helping a struggling podmate. To the surface rare, these scenes serve as a powerful reminder that empathy is not an exclusively human invention. It is a fundamental principle of life itself, an instinct for mutual care that echoes throughout the natural world. This shared trait forms a profound and unifying bond, connecting us all in a global family of conscious beings. It reminds us that beneath our superficial differences in appearance, belief, or background, we are all capable of understanding and sharing in the experience of another. Compassion is the common language of the heart, a silent but universally understood dialogue that fosters connection and dissolves the artificial barriers that divide us. It is the recognition of ourselves and others, the quiet acknowledgement that we are all in this together, bound by a shared desire for safety, belonging, and care. By witnessing these animated stories of empathy, from the smallest personal gesture to the most profound act of cross-species care, we are not just passive observers. We are invited to become active participants in this global movement of kindness. Showing these powerful, emotionally resonant examples serves as a gentle but persistent call to action, encouraging viewers to look for opportunities to practice compassion in their own daily lives. The story of the shared crayon inspires a parent to teach their child the joy of giving. The image of the helped stranger encourages a commuter to be more aware of the people around them. The sight of a community coming together reminds us of the strength in unity and prompts us to reach out to a neighbor. These narratives do more than just entertain. They plant seeds of inspiration, empowering each viewer with the knowledge that they, too, possess the ability to create positive change. They show us that we don't need to wait for a grand opportunity to make a difference. The world can be shaped for the better right here, right now, through the simple, conscious choice to be kind. In this gentle rhythm of giving and receiving, we see humanity at its most powerful, not in grand displays, but in the tender, enduring pulse of shared care.